Now, after the 6th century BC, we find that these Ganarajyas continued for a pretty long time. Some succumbed to the monarchical powers, but there were others which continued, and particularly we have Ganarajyas in the Punjab rivers, in and around the 5 Punjab rivers, where they lived for a long period. I'm talking about the Yodhyas, the Malavas, the Arjunayanas, the Shanakanikas. So these kind of Ganarajyas were very important as a non-monarchical power. Following the Mauryan rule, we find that these Ganarajyas again came into power. They became very important and they started issuing coins even following the Panchmak type of coins, and then they had their own coinage like the cast copper coins or the die struck coins, which they issued when they came into contact with the later powers like the Indo-Greeks and the Kushanas. So these Ganarajyas, which actually encountered the Kushana and the Indo-Greek powers and started issuing or minting coins in die struck or cast system, they were finally pushed from their original habitat, the 5 Punjab rivers. We find that these Ganarajyas or Ganashanghas, they had to move further south into the areas of Rajasthan or into the areas of the Himachal Pradesh, where they could find their own identity and were far from the Ganga Valley tradition. As mentioned earlier, that the Brahmanical literature talks about them as degenerate Kshatriyas or as Vratya Kshatriyas. So these people who were not very comfortable in the Varna ideology did not prefer a territory where they had to follow the Varnashram Dharma. So naturally, the arid plains of Rajasthan, which was similar to the Punjab plains and with the mines, were more attractive to these people. We have to keep in mind that Panini calls these Shanghas, when he was writing his Ashtadhyayi or in his Ganapatha, he calls these Shanghas as Ayudha Jivi Shanghas. So this means this is a kind of Shangha who actually lives by the use of arms. And for the use of arms, you need a good mineral resources. So you need a metal base where you have enough resources to make your metals or make your weapons. So therefore, these Ayudha Jivi groups mentioned by Panini, and we have to remember that Panini has been dated as a pre-Mauryan author. So he was definitely in Sialkot region in and around 5th century BCE. So it was very easy for this non-monarchical group to come to the Rajasthan region, find a footing for themselves and start staying in this place. Interestingly, if we look at the structure of these Ganarajyas, we find that there are different kinds. One was like the Shakyas, the Kaliyas. They are single clan Ganarajyas, where actually the family and the chief of the family was the main ruler. But we have again Ganarajyas like the Vrishni and the Vajjis, where you have different clan groups ruling together. So the Ganarajya experience gave us a wide variety of structures, of political structures, which ancient India saw during the time of the rise of the Janapadas. Thus, when we study the Ganarajyas, we find that we have to look at them from the point of view of a polity which was an alternative, and I began with that Ganarajyas were an alternative to kingdom, but at the same time it is important to note that they were a kind of polity which were running parallelly with the monarchical type of polity.